You probably there's so many people in Indiana
Well,
who went to one for
we
undergrad,
could
the other for grad
consolidate
school.
the.
My family was
bread
like
off of
every
it.
IU basketball
Put
game
the
though,
bread
we
back
all
here.
had our IU sweatshirts on, sitting on the couch watching the game.
Yeah.
It was not like a
Well,
acceptable
do you want to have people come up and
online.
get it?
No, I understand that where that sentiment comes
Like
from.
the Bobby Knight
Have
era,
press
you
plates up or
couldn't
something
like
and
Purdue.
then we pass the green beans around.
Okay.
And then I was like, what?
Can you have that butter, please?
It wasn't like, it was the only one you could go to, being in the state.
Well, I wasn't paying out of state tuition.
Right.
Yeah, you take out enough student loan money.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was like, I'm not doubling it for out of state. If I can get in state, that's fine.
But yeah, I mean, pity all the kids growing up in Indiana who are into engineering or something like that. And they're like, I'm sorry, you're going to IU.
Yeah.
No, school building.
There aren't a lot of bid schools in the
There's
country.
28 in the country.
NC State's one of them.
Did you do large animal or?
I had to in vet school. I don't now.
Okay.
Yeah, they had a cow with a hole in the side of it. It was one of the weirdest, coolest things I've ever seen.
Oh, there's one at state too. There's like a plastic.
Oh,
tip
yeah.
or whatever in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just out crazy.
They use it for,
Literally
if they use it for medicinal purposes.
Yeah.
It's inside.
When you have sick cows that have like completely depleted their like bacteria in their GI tract, they donor, have a donor cow. And so that's part of the medicine. So in each vet school that has cows actually brought in and that sort of thing, because most of the time you don't save a cow.
Good.
But when you do, you have to have one there to.
It has a hole in it. I mean, it's like this big.
Well, there's the
It's-
famous study, like of the,
crazy.
there was some, I can't remember what the story was, but there was a guy, like people, like in the 1700s, 1800s, they learned a lot about the human digestive tract because he had something happen. He had like a hole
Mm-hmm.
in his torso, so you could look into his stomach. Yeah.
It's actually pretty cool. Like if you go to any of the vet school open
That's a
houses,
good
you
thing.
can like actually like really feel the inside of the four stomachs.
Wow.
Start serving people.
Right. Not really seeing the use of that utensil there.
I love you.
So,
You guys are so cute. Oh.
the,
Okay, ISIS.
Oh, how does this thing?
It's not very good.
The pork.
Grab that this way.
I need something.
Thank you.
I did a rub last night. It sat in the marination thing
Oh wait, we have to
overnight.
kind of keep these because they're
Then this morning I had to wipe the rub off because it had a lot of salt in it, and then cooked it 5.5 hours. Then you pour off the sauce to make the glaze, and then you crisp up the fat on the top.
Wow.
In 500-degree oven for a while.
Very impressive.
See, I think you can pass.
It was not
You do the
hard.
same thing?
Surprisingly.
Yeah.
That's your plate.
The timing's hard though because I was worried it was gonna be, last year the lamb took longer than,
Mm-hmm.
so then I ended up having to microwave it.
So it's not something I have experience cutting with.
You're doing a fine job.
You're getting a little garnish, Cheryl.
Actually, it's like a salad, so you take a little, the garnish is mustard greens and there's like a little vinaigrette on it and carrots and apples, so it's not really garnish.
There's a bone in here, isn't there?
Yeah.
It's not even served.
Bone and shoulder.
To your right.
Part of it was actually okay.
The bone?
Yeah. Is that the end?
Did you get some bone?
No, I think she got
Yeah,
some fat.
no.
Oh, you
No,
did?
Thank you.
Something.
No, the bone's really hard.
Alright.
It's dramatic music.
It's like Braveheart.
I feel like I'm about to go on a war tomorrow morning. This is the last meal.
Yeah.
That's working well.
I'm gonna trust Megan with this.
Smart.
Here's the fork.
Thank you. Soup in there.
From my, what's funny is I follow the Bulls on Twitter and we're like well outscored. The Bulls are like, they don't score a lot of points for an NBA team.
They are kind of
If anyone wants
Right,
something
yeah.
like barbecue sauce, I will not be offended.
Next, the second?
Ketchup is a
Because I'll say that now
isn't it?
because Nathan will probably go do it.
This is
What would you do?
Y'all get
Originally,
barbecue
all the
sauce.
tomatoes that they grew in Scotland.
It's the barbecue sauce.
Yeah, it does.
Birch is in the ode to the hags.
Yeah. Something
Dredging with ketchup.
Not sure why I'm doing
You trench your
the work with
still
the
with
left
ketchup.
hand.
I thought this would trench your men.
Yeah,
Ketchup? A1?
okay.
Luggies means boobs.
I'm guessing it's nice.
Luggies?
Luggies?
Really? Because I think he pointed to his butt when he said
It
luggies.
means-
Well,
Does not mean boobs.
in here, it does too mean boobs, but in here it means hills, like waves.
Sorry.
Oh,
So he made like a suggestive choices.
Nathan, run them.
Legs.
Well, sorry.
Oh, he's
Your buttocks like a distant hill.
Okay.
It's very important.
It's the clean version. It's the clean version.
Nathan, just a little bit on that plate,
Okay.
so I can eat dessert. That's really what's important, let's be honest. That's good, thanks.
I like you keep stalling. Before it was the
Do it, eat.
and then it's dessert.
It's really just dessert.
It's
I'll be good with some veggies.
Apples. I think we're cucumbers.
Okay. Apples and carrots and mustard greens.
I'm surprised our cats have stayed away the entire time.
I don't want to get locked in the closet again.
They're actually mine.
It wasn't clawing at the door or anything. It just opened the door and it was just like, oh, there's a cat in there.
It's kind of a regular event in the life of a domestic cat.
Yeah. Our closet, closed closets are sliding, and sometimes they'll go in there and go in the back, and we don't even know they're in there, and we'll close them in, and it'll be 4 hours later. We'll open it up, and they'll just walk out like nothing, like just been taking a nap.
Well, I mean, that's their response to everything. Like,
That's true.
all right, I'll just.
Our cat totally. Our cat would whine incessantly for hours on end if we let him know.
Maybe he's learned how to paw it open. He'll actually pull open the closet and climb in.
I'm never gonna guess. I'm not gonna call him.
it.
Tasty.
So
yeah.
It's
Hold
very
on,
good.
Hannah.
What was the entree last year?
Lamb.
Lamb was yeah.
Lamb shank, I think.
I think I like this better. Most good that I only like ham.
You mentioned that time or two last year. That's why we're not having
I
lamb.
feel like my opinion should be expressed. I don't want to, leave you second guessing, perhaps.
Oh man, I was really wondering what you
Clear.
were thinking.
Does he like lamb?
All right. Let's tell us about your trip to Copenhagen. What did you do? What'd you see?
Worked a lot. And then, so
Is this over the winter?
yeah, it was in
Oh, so it's cold.
Yeah.
You went to Copenhagen for a year?
Is that not crazy?
You to... Why do McGraw say
Because our coders are in Copenhagen.
I can't get a trip to Ireland without Rachel Mansion here.
No,
Coders
we have programmers.
in Copenhagen.
We have there's a startup called Area 9 in Copenhagen, and
Most
they're-
companies go for cheaper labor.
That's where ours are in India.
So
McGraw's why they go like, no, American coders are too cheap.
Let's go more expensive one. Hire people.
we pay for it too, actually. Like it's ridiculous the contracts, but there a lot of the they do a lot of the management of the coding, and then a lot of the coding is done actually in St. Petersburg, Russia. So that's for the cheapness. So there's only 20 people.
Offshore happens.
Yeah,
The Reds.
but we're contracting with the yeah, for real.
That's what Valentine used to call.
That's what I'm saying. Either the Reds or the Brewskis. All right.
So
Did you get to see any of Copenhagen?
yeah, a little bit. I walked around a little bit. I mainly spent a lot of time at the CEO's house, so like we cooked dinner and stuff like that, and hung out with his kids and blah blah blah. But he's a real foodie, so like every night was like sweetbreads and turbo and like lots and lots of truffles, and it was risotto and crazy crap. So he actually is like a farmer cook. So it was, and he's really into like wine, and he has like 3,000 bottles of wine, literally 3,000 bottles. So I actually took some of them home. It was from like 1985. I was just like, can I have this bottle? This is the oldest wine I've ever had in my entire life. It was delicious. So we were doing wine tasting, so it wasn't like every meal we would open up another bottle of wine. So you just have one glass and open up another 40-year-old bottle of wine and open another one. You know, so it was pretty ridiculous to say the least. And then they had the Christmas party for that company, and they just moved to a new building. So what they did was they moved out of their old building, didn't move the stuff into the new building, had the Christmas party with it empty, and it was one of the row houses that the Danish Navy used to store the masts in for the ships. So it's really, really long and beautiful and old wooden thing. And so we had this really, really fancy dinner that started with champagne tasting. So he knows all these like champagne makers in France. And so what he did is he got 4 different years of the same champagne. And so we traced the champagne from like current to older so we could taste how the champagne developed. It was ridiculous. I'm not joking. And then he had a gourmet chef come in and cook from their kitchen for everyone. So it was all in Danish, so I didn't know what we had, but it was delicious.
Meanwhile, our Christmas party was catered by Costco.
Oh, solid.
Let's see.
So
I think we had a hot chocolate.
Sounds like a good time.
And when I would say
We're going
catered by
to
Costco, I mean one of the secretaries went and bought some stuff, and it was terrible.
I can't claim to know much about Denmark. Is it similar to Germany in culture?
it's Scandinavian. So it's one of the Scandinavian countries. So they have crazy high taxes, really, really high happiness index, and no crime. It was pretty nice.
Lots of bicyclists.
Extreme. It was just.
There actually, Copenhagen was one of the first cities that had the like public bikes that you could
Right, don't check
just check out and ride around the
Yeah.
city.
Who was that that said they just wanted to like steal a bike just 'cause?
Somebody, I listened to a podcast of some guy who's from like California, from one of the like Oakland or something. He was like, he went to I think it was Sweden or one of the Scandinavian countries. He was like, I just wanted to steal one of the bikes just
Yeah.
crap on the whole idea.
Oh, Americans.
That's why they love us.
So then, so the head programmer guy, the CTO, he doesn't really like traveling. He doesn't really like interacting with a lot of people. And I was saying that. Okay,
Probably typical of a
yeah,
head programmer.
This is he's pretty whackball. So Søren Kierkegaard is from Copenhagen. He's a Danish philosopher who I studied a lot of and wrote a lot about. And so I was like, oh, I can't wait to like his graves there, shop at home. So I was like, the only one thing I wanted to do touristy, you know, is to go see Kierkegaard's gravesite.
Oh, I'm sure there's all kinds of tourists that are doing that.
Exactly.
Probably like #1.
So, I mean, he's really famous in Denmark, but right, no one knows who this person is. So
I've heard the name actually. I
Yeah,
could not
he's-
tell you who it was,
yeah.
but I've heard the name.
he's a big deal. So, one of the first things I said to them when I got there, I was like, I haven't seen Kierkegaard yet. And they were laughing and stuff. They're like, what the hell did you say that, you know? And I was like, well, the only thing I want to do is go see Kierkegaard's gravesite. And so the head program actually offered to take me because it's kind of hard to find it. And also, Niels Bohr is buried right next to him. And so is Hans Christensen. So, the guy,
Christian Andersen.
Christian Andersen. So, well, I
If
mean,
you saw
this is
Hans
good.
Christensen's grave, that's not a big deal.
Hans Christensen.
They told one over.
Well,
Every fifth Dane.
I have a picture of nobody then. No, I don't know. So we went and saw that. That was very fun. Hung out with the sun and stuff. So I don't know. But this is not a typical McGraw Hill experience. I'm one of, I think it's 2 or 3 people that have done this. So it's not all people in McGraw Hill. A lot of people were very upset when I went. So. Visibly,
I'm
like,
pretty pissed at you
yeah.
right now.
No, I mean, it was,
That's some crap.
yeah,
Sounds like a good trip.
it was,
So did you do any actual work, or was this just like a
it was
meet and
primarily,
greet?
no, it was primarily all work. I mean, I only saw that gravesite and then ate dinner on the weekends with the CEO, that was it. Like every minute was like.
How long were you there?
For 4 days. 3 to 4 days. So, it was, I don't know. Oh, Tivoli. I went to Tivoli. It's like the world's oldest amusement park. And so, like, it was
FYI,
Christmas
next time you
time.
go to Copenhagen, don't text me. I got that text like 1 a.m.
Dude, I didn't sleep. Like, I was
I
like,
know,
up
neither
all
did
night long. We were getting emails from me at like 3 a.m. And they're like, what are you doing? I just couldn't sleep. I was so excited. And so it's like this really old, beautiful, like different cultures mixing. There was like a mosque there, different Asian things, a whole bunch of old Christmas stuff. There was just all in this like Christmas theme with roller coasters and lots of food. I was like, really, it was pretty sweet.
I believe that is what I got when you
It
pictured
was-
that.
it was
You
pictured
said, guess
Tivoli.
where I am, and I was like, I don't know, you're not in this country.
It was quite fun. I was wondering, I didn't know maybe you were there too.
Yeah. Kirsten sent me.
Anybody need a refill on meat?
Oh,
Meat refill?
I'll take a
Okay,
meat
great.
refill.
Like salami
That
cup.
was really good.
It was
though.
delicious.
Yes,
Meat
it
fest.
So
What?
good.
I'm very impressed.
Well, it's very easy.
I'm very recipe.
It didn't sound easy.
No.
I kind of talked
It's,
this
uh,
movie.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I think Julie, even you feeling very
That's
prepared,
very, very
you could
nice
do it.
of you to say.
You could do it.
It doesn't come out of the box.
I think this